Is Google good or evil? Now, let's be honest, as soon as I say that, I can guarantee you that a good percentage of people who are watching this video right now would see Google as the benevolent ruler who gives everyone an equal opportunity to succeed on their ad platform. But at the same time, there's a whole heap of you who are screaming at their phone or their desktop, yelling as loud as they can that Google is just an evil overlord who only wants your money in exchange for fake clicks and spammy leads. So which one is it? Is Google good or is Google evil? And you only need to do a quick search, funny enough, on Google to find that, especially when it comes to Google ads, there are hundreds and thousands of pro-Googlers who are really supportive of Google ads as a whole, and they are constantly bombarded with comments of people saying that their company plants or sellouts. And then you've got the anti-Googlers who people are just saying to them that the reason that you're not seeing success with Google ads is because of your poor campaign, your poor ads, or your bad website. And if you want to waste your time with some funny laughs, go and read the Reddit threads on this, because some of the comments are really hilarious. And little known to me that I was actually a subject of a whole Reddit theme where some people were theorizing that myself, and this channel had become a Google plant. And they went on to explain that because of the success of some of my videos, the Google Ads marketing department took notice of this, reached out to me, and then paid me to peddle their messages. Now, one thing I do want to make very clear, that I definitely have no association with Google. But hey, Google Ads, if you're listening and you're willing to pay me lots of money, I'll sit here and say how great you are. For example, my name is Aaron Young and Google Ads is great. See, totally believable. But all that aside, let's get back to the question of, is Google good or evil? And I don't see Google as being good, and I don't see Google as being evil. It's just neutral. Now, me personally, I am very pro Google. I don't 100% trust everything that Google does, especially when it comes to its recommendations tab. But the reason for why I'm pro Google is because I've seen Google grow my own business and countless other businesses since I've been running Google Ads for the last 15 years. And that's why I'm pro Google, because I've seen the success. But I've also seen some horror stories, and I'm not too proud to admit that even some of the own campaigns that I have run have not seen the most optimal results. Now, that is very much in the minority, because the vast majority of the campaigns that I have set up and optimized and helped people coach through have become a core building block for their business. So that's why I am pro Google. But as I said, my core belief is that Google is not good or bad, because it really comes down to the individual business and how they're using Google Ads. And 99% of the time, that is the determining reason of whether they are having a positive or a negative Google Ads experience. And the first thing that I really want you to understand is that if you want to see any level of success with Google Ads, you have to understand how it works. And I do see a lot of content that goes around, especially here on YouTube, and it's all about trying to game the system and trying to come up with new workarounds to overcome some of the changes that Google has released on its platform. But for continued success with Google, and what I mean by continued success, I mean week after week, month after month, and year after year, that type of success is only found when you're not focused on trying to game the system or beat Google at its own game. It's when you're focusing on understanding how it works and then working with the structures that Google has given you. Because trust me, I've seen some horror cases of people trying to game the system and coming up with different tricks, and they may see some success for a couple of weeks or a couple of months, but then very quickly it all comes crashing down and their campaigns absolutely tank, or even worse, their accounts get suspended. So the solution for success with Google Ads, and we're not talking about new campaign structures or dashboard designs or new updates that Google releases. Being successful at Google Ads is firstly working out how Google Ads works and then setting up your account structures and campaigns so that it is in the best interest of Google to show your ads. So it's not a you versus Google situation, it's you understanding how Google works so that you can then set up your campaigns, write your ads, and set up your landing pages in a way that it's beneficial for Google to show your ads over your competitors' ads. And the way that you need to do this, and how I approach setting up Google Ads campaigns, is that I have an understanding of what does Google want. Because what I want to do here is I want to give Google every reason to show my ads versus other companies' ads. And the main thing that you need to remember with Google Ads, regardless of what type of campaign you're running, the one thing that Google wants is relevant ad clicks. Now, I think you can understand the reason for why Google wants more clicks, because Google only gets paid when someone clicks on an ad. So the formula for Google is really simple, in that more clicks equals more money. But what some people forget in all of that is that Google also puts a premium on relevance. And the reason for why relevant ad clicks is so important for them is because if they continue to show up spammy or low quality ads that go to low quality pages, users will actually start to notice that and stop actively clicking on ads from Google because they know it just takes them to poor quality sites. So that's why it's really, really important that Google maintains a high level of relevancy. Now, this is the one thing that I do want to make clear is that Google hasn't added in this relevancy ranking just so they can stick by some made up company mantra that they had in their early days of do no evil. That is not the reason for it. It's purely, as I said, is because Google knows that if they continue to throw up spammy ads that go to bad websites, it's ultimately going to cost their business revenue. So when you go to start creating your ads and your campaigns in Google Ads, you need to have that at the forefront of your planning, is that for success, you need to always have relevant keywords, going to relevant ads, going to easy to use, high quality landing pages. And especially for Google search and Google shopping campaigns, if you can focus and get those three things happening of well-targeted keywords, triggering highly relevant ads, and going to easy to use, highly relevant landing pages, you will find that you are the vast majority of the way there in seeing success with Google Ads. And just so we can really drill down, and I want you to understand why relevant clicks are so important for Google because it increases their revenue, I want you to check this out. And this is a very simple example of how Google decides who will win any given auction. So as we know that when someone completes a Google search, Google quickly runs an auction, and then the advertisers with the highest ad rank win that auction. But the good news is that the highest bidder or the company with the most money doesn't always win, and here's the reason why. Let's just say you're willing to pay $2 for an ad targeting women's summer dresses, and your ads have a click-through ratio of 12%, whereas your competitor is actually willing to pay $5, so more than double for their ad targeting women's summer dresses, but they only have a click-through ratio of 3%. Who would the winner be? You or your competitor? Now, in a traditional auction, it would always be your competitor because they're willing to pay $5, whereas you're willing to pay $2. But this is where the ad relevancy comes through. Because if you have an ad with a higher click-through ratio, it's actually more profitable for Google to show your ad, even though you're only willing to pay $2 and your competitor is willing to pay $5. And the reason for that is because you would win the auction because Google would prefer a 12% chance of $2 rather than a 3% chance of $5. And the simple reason for why Google would show your ad because it has the higher click-through ratio is not because they are good, it purely comes down to the amount of money that Google is going to receive. Because even though you're only willing to pay $2 per click, with a click-through ratio of 12%, for every 100 times Google shows your ad, they would be getting $24. Whereas for your competitor, even though they're willing to pay $5 per click, because they've got a click-through ratio of 3%, they're only getting 3 clicks out of every 100 times Google shows the ad, they're only getting $15. So Google is actually $9 better off by showing your ad versus your competitor's ad. And that's the easiest way that I can explain to you to show you that Google is not good or evil, and that for success with Google, it's purely about understanding the system so that you can create your campaigns and ads in such a way that it's beneficial for Google to show your ads over your competitors' ads. And then when you understand that, what you're actually achieving is a win-win. And that win-win is that Google wins because it's getting the click, so it gets paid. And then you win because you're getting highly relevant traffic to your website. And if you've got a high converting website, you're going to be getting more sales and more leads for your business. So the secret to seeing success with Google ads for your business is that you need to make it in Google's best interests to show your ads over your competitors' ads. And as I've said time and time again, that comes down to focusing on highly targeted keywords, to really relevant ads, and high converting, easy to use landing pages. Now, I can't tell you the amount of times over the last 15 years where I've taken on a review for an account, or I've taken on the management of an account, and the business owner or the previous person who was marketing would be saying that this account just doesn't work and that Google is a waste of money. And when you actually dive down into it and look at it, I can guarantee it comes down to one of those 3 factors, in that the keywords aren't being targeted correctly, they've got poor ads, or they've got a poor landing page. So while the business is wasting money on Google, it's not Google's fault. The fault actually lies in the person who created that campaign. Now, to help you with that, so that you can make sure you're using the correct keywords, the correct ad copy and landing pages for your Google Ads campaigns, so you can stop wasting money and see more success with Google Ads, I want to help you in 2 ways. Firstly, for success with Google Ads, you need to not only make sure that you've got the correct setup for your Google Ads campaigns, but you also need to make sure that you're optimizing your Google Ads campaigns in the right way. And to help you with that, I want to give you access to my Google Ads optimization checklist. And this is a checklist which takes you through all of the different optimization actions that you need to complete in Google Ads. And then on top of that, it also lets you know whether you need to complete that action every single week, every month, or every 90 days. Because that is also a core understanding of Google Ads, is that you need to make sure you've got the correct cadence in your optimizations, because success with Google Ads is a real partnership where you're leveraging Google's algorithms in the best way so that you're making your optimizations at the right time. And if you follow that link in the description below, you can get access to my optimization checklist so that you are never guessing what you need to optimize on any given time that you're looking at your Google Ads campaigns. And then to help you further, I want you to go through and watch this video right here, because this is going to explain more how Google Ads works, especially how the different types of Google Ads campaigns work, so that you know the best ones for your business in 2024. Once again, thanks for joining me. My name is Aaron Young from Define Digital Academy, and I'm your 15,000 hour Google Ads master, and I look forward to seeing you in this video right now. See ya.